Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in to the Spotlight. We had a jam-packed show. Christmas is showing up in late October, early November. No bueno. We also talk about the 50 Shades of Grey trailer and the movie you really should be watching, which is Secretary. And all the great movies that are out in theaters right now. Interstellar, Birdman, and I guess Dumb and Dumber 2. So, come on in, like, share, subscribe. We appreciate every little bit of it. See you guys.
And the Academy Award for Best Actor in a Motion Picture goes to Matthew McConaughey, Interstellar. Welcome to the Anthem podcast. This is Cory.
Good afternoon, everybody. It's Rob. Boo. Who would boo Matthew McConaughey?
Me.
At the Oscars?
Me.
It's an excuse to get him in the shower for Thursday. Anything to get him in the shower. His once-a-year shower.
Get another Lincoln out of the deal.
Yeah. Did you?
We spent so much time bullshitting before we started this podcast.
We did.
We should have recorded all that.
Damn it! You guys gotta start hitting record and just let it go.
Yeah, just let it go.
And then we'll figure out a time.
There
to
have been a whole bunch of talk about random people from like way in the past. Yeah.
Skinny Cory, pictures of Skinny Cory.
Yeah, I got to radio edit a lot of this.
Yeah.
Put some pictures of Skinny Cory up in this.
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not going to do
just
that.
let them know what. Let them know what they're getting after I go back to the gym after my fucking rib heals itself.
Until you get it damaged again because it's cold and you think that you're 25 and you could play football.
Yeah.
With a bunch of 25-year-olds.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, so thinking about nostalgia, I remember the days when on November 1st we weren't celebrating fucking Christmas. And can I tell you how pissed off I am about this situation right now?
I went to Walmart on Halloween night to pick up some shit, as you do when you go to Walmart. You don't know what you're getting, but
you go there for one thing, you leave with 50.
Well, you go there for the one thing that you think that only Walmart has.
Right.
Like, where else am I going to get big plastic tubs?
At 1 o'clock in the morning.
I guess I got to go to Walmart.
Yeah.
And then you leave with an inflatable pool and...
Not tubs. No tubs.
Desks.
Damn it, I went there for one thing and I didn't even get that thing.
I got a kitchenette set. We needed one.
It was on rollback.
And Slim Jims. So we can eat our Slim Jims at our table.
I feel like I would really like to look back. Let's do a time hop of Rob's Walmart receipts for the last 10 years and just see how things have changed.
I would love a kind of like time hop for my credit card.
Yeah. Just like, let's see what I charged 10 years ago. Beer, Taco Bell. Beer.
Back in the days when I was going to strip clubs, like when I was like 18 and stuff like that, I would love to like reconstruct those moments where it's just like I went to a Bank of America ATM before the strip club and took out $100 because that's all I said I was going to spend that night.
That's it.
And then all of a sudden, an hour and a half later, I took $200 out of a credit card. Out of an ATM that charged me a $10.75 fee.
At the club.
And then an hour and a half later, I got another $200 out. And... oh, man.
Entertainment's expensive.
Oh. But yes, they were putting up Christmas decorations getting shit out to start selling Christmas stuff at Walmart.
On
Halloween.
Now, I went to...
we're fucking 2 months away.
I went to Walmart, I think, that week before, and they had shifted all the Halloween stuff from where it was to more of the we're cutting prices on this, like let's get rid of this shit before we ran out of time, and the Christmas stuff was already going in. Remember, it's up.
Don't get me wrong. I love Christmas.
Oh, me too.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite holiday. I just enjoy the tree and the family and the drinking.
Yeah,
I'm Irish.
None of that. Maybe the drinking, but none of the other things.
Yeah. But it just makes me happy, but it makes me upset when it happens in November.
And what I'm saying is, like, it's cold out. By the way, the Earth hates us. Can we just say the Earth is trying to kill us?
Yeah.
It's going to snow tomorrow night here in Baltimore.
Really?
Yeah, it snowed on Friday in Baltimore.
Yeah, it was a kind of flurry. It was like a sleet snow.
No, on November 11th.
Yeah.
On November 11th, it sleet snowed in Baltimore. Now, I don't know if that has happened before, But typically Maryland doesn't get snow at that time.
Well,
I know some places are used to it.
Anybody who's freaking out about it, I got a Subaru that I'm looking to offload.
4-wheel drive?
All-wheel, symmetrical all-wheel drive.
Oh, well,
you never lose control in that car.
It's like it never moves. It just grips the road so
Yeah,
tightly.
so good. What you'll want to do if you own a car like that is just sit on the side of the road and pretend you're driving.
It'll scare you how closely it grips the road.
Yeah.
It doesn't want to move.
Yeah. Won't slip in that.
No, we won't. But I saw the Corona commercial, and I'm like, your whole point of the Corona experience is it's cold outside, but have a Corona and you're on your own beach. That was the whole thing. And I'm like, I get the right before Christmas, you're not really thinking Corona, you're thinking eggnog or whatever. So do a little Feliz Navidad.
You're thinking eggnog. I'm not thinking eggnog.
I don't drink eggnog either.
Oh, okay. Well, then somebody's thinking eggnog.
But a more peppermint schnapps, like a Christmassy drink.
Yeah.
So you run that Feliz Navidad thing to be like, oh, well, Corona can be Christmassy too.
Yeah.
But in this time, I would prefer kick your feet off. There's a beach somewhere. That's why I'm going to fucking Puerto Rico in January.
Yeah.
Because it's cold and I'd like to be warm.
I am glad that I am the person in charge of switching the music over at my restaurant.
Oh yeah, that's already happened too at my place.
Yeah, so that I can just say nope, not until after Thanksgiving. Once Thanksgiving is over, we can switch the music.
My mom put up the tree after her birthday. Her birthday is December 22nd. So we had the tree up.
That sounds a lot like when the Bakers put the tree up. The Baker family tradition is buying a Christmas tree on the 23rd and not taking it down until St. Patrick's Day.
Okay, so no, we didn't do that. We did the very much like, well, and it depended on when it was.
When is Dr. Martin Luther King's birthday?
January 21st.
Yeah, that's too early.
Gotta wait till after that.
Yeah, gotta wait. It's past that.
Valentine's
Day, maybe.
Yeah. If not, St. Pat's.
Gotta impress a girl when I bring her back to my parents' house and sneak her around the back. Gotta make sure that Christmas tree ain't there because that's embarrassing.
It ruins it. It just makes it so long. I like Christmas being a couple of weeks where I'm in a great mood, and I can't be in a great mood that long.
Yeah.
It's just too long for me to be that happy. Give me a week and a half, I'll be good. I'm in a great mood for the week and a half. So they were starting to put stuff up in the office, and I'm like, you think I'm a grouch usually? You start putting up fucking Christmas decorations the second week in November.
Yeah. By
the time we get to Christmas, I'm going to be the biggest grouch in the world. And they already hate me. So.
You know what I think I'm going to start doing? You know how there's like this big battle brewing over Happy Holidays and Merry Christmas and everything like that?
Yeah.
I think I'm going to pick a foreign language random. Like
help Merry Christmas to people.
Yeah, just like say Merry Christmas to German.
Yeah.
To random people, and just like when they look at me, I'll just be like, "It's German," and I'll be like, "For what?"
Diensternach. That's something. I saw that commercial, the World War I commercial.
Right. It should be a more like unusual language, one that there's a chance a chance that nobody speaks.
Right.
Like, I don't know.
Wouldn't you feel bad if you said that and then somebody down the way was like, "Oh, look what happened!" And you're like,
just say Merry Christmas in Japanese, and all of a sudden a bunch of Japanese people are running.
Oh, I know.
You must translate for me.
No. I can do Merry Christmas. That's what I got.
That's all I know.
But as part of the conversation, I was not a good week in my office because we seem to be brawling a lot more than usual about Christmas. And then I came downstairs, and the hens in my office.
Yeah.
And I know that the irony of which I say that. They're all gathered around watching the 50 Shades of Grey trailer.
Oh.
And cackling and like, oh, let's watch it again. And oh, did you see that thing?
I was walking through. My roommate Kent was watching Sons of Anarchy.
Right.
And I looked at the guy and I was just like, he's a good looking guy, but I think the one that they chose is much better.
Right.
I think they ended up lucking out with the new guy. He looks very
he's not gray.
I don't know, he could fuck me.
He's not gray though. Matt Bonner
yeah,
is what I pictured Christian Grey as.
I'm going to just make a noise, and then you can put his picture up on the video, and we'll just see how well it works out together.
Go ahead.
Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, I see.
Do you know who Matt Bonner is?
No. I know who he is, but I haven't seen a picture of him.
He's in Suits. He's a guy from Suits. No, not Suits. White Collar. He's the guy from White Collar. Like the criminal. He was on American Horror Story Freak Show. He's on Magic Mike. He was in Magic Mike.
Which one was he?
Did you see Magic Mike?
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I don't know. I just know he was in there.
We're
gonna have to discuss why it is that you saw Magic Mike.
Well, here's the thing. I was trying to be.
What it is
I was trying to be the good boyfriend about it and watch Magic Mike. And then immediately, I think it's 30 seconds in, Olivia Munn is naked or topless.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah. And then I was just like, wow, I didn't know this was gonna happen. I think they were like throwing a bone to like
then 2 hours
every
of dick.
boyfriend or husband who was there.
And then just 2 hours of dick after that.
Just 2 hours of
full frontal.
All right. I don't think there is male nudity in Magic Mike.
Really? I thought it was like all full frontal, no?
Not that I remember. Maybe I just blacked the dicks out of my mind. Somebody, I'm sure, will tweet us.
Yeah,
and say,
God.
And say, how'd you forget Channing Tatum's big dick on that pool table?
I feel like it would, if you're in that movie though, you got to be like, is Marky Mark's prosthetic line around here anywhere? Can I just toss that on real quick?
Are we on the same set that Boogie Nights happened on? Because I wouldn't mind going through the prop closet.
Go through it, watching the scenes of the movie. Here's my commentary about it. Yeah, a couple of years ago, they made the good version of this movie, and this is the PG-13 soft version of the movie.
Right.
And I'm talking about the movie Secretary.
One of my all-time favorite flicks.
Such a good movie. From 2002, 2003,
something like that.
Yeah. So they watched the have you seen the trailer for 50 Shades of Grey?
Yes.
Okay, so it's like intimate, and like there's like, oh, there's a reveal, and oh, there might be some spanking or something.
I watched it without any clothes on.
Were you touching yourself?
No.
Inappropriately?
No, I was waiting for the laundry to finish.
Okay. So then I show the girls who are now fawning over this 50 Shades of Grey trailer. I show them the trailer for The Secretary, and not giving anything away from the movie because it's in the trailer,
which is a pretty tame version of what happens in The Secretary.
Oh yeah, no, just the
in Secretary, I should say.
In Secretary,
Secretary.
Yeah. In Secretary, it is.
And don't watch Secretariat because that's not
whole different thing.
Whole different thing. Though there are whips in that too.
Yes. But so in the trailer for Secretary, Maggie Gyllenhaal at the end of the trailer comes out and she's got this, what I would call a bar gag, I guess.
Yeah.
Which is, it goes around her neck and there's a solid steel bar out to her hands and she's carrying a cup of coffee in one and the mail in the other and something in her mouth. Can't remember what's in her mouth. Maybe the mail's in her mouth and something else is in her hand.
Maybe.
And the girls are like, oh my God. What is this? I'm like, okay, so... Again, I'm happy that BDSM culture is becoming more mainstream. That's pretty tame for BDSM culture.
Yeah.
But they were appalled. I'm like, you're going to go see 50 Shades of Grey. And in the conversation, I realized there is nothing that extreme in 50 Shades of Grey. So I realized that it's titillating for middle-class housewives who have very vanilla or chocolate, depending on, but sex that's like missionary all the time, and to them, like, oh my God, is he behind her? Is that doggy style? That's why we do the levels. So when I say doggy style, it still comes through. That's like a big deal for them,
right?
Not for me. Now I have a different life. I've lived a different life. I mean, I've had all the threesomes I'm going to have in my life, but it's a different life.
You've cut off that part of.
I've acknowledged that part of my life is over.
Yeah.
But I can't imagine I can't put myself in that mentality. But to these women in my office, it was like, is he going to spank her? Is he going to spank her? Oh my God.
Yeah.
I can't, and I guess I have trouble putting myself in that position. But I think my bigger concern is that we've crossed the line between suspension of disbelief. People are going to look at this and be like, this is what the lifestyle is like.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you see a movie like, I don't know, Dumb and Dumber 2, and you're like, I know what I'm walking into.
I happen to have seen Dumb and Dumber 2.
Yes.
And I would like to talk about that, actually, and so, as a matter of fact.
But you know what you're getting when you walk in. You're going to the hot dog cart.
Yeah, don't expect Citizen Kane.
Yeah.
But here's the problem, too. Don't expect Dumb and Dumber.
The original.
Just don't walk into Dumb and Dumber thinking that...
2.
Like,
Don't walk into 2.
Don't walk into Dumb and Dumber 2 thinking you're getting the original Dumb and Dumber.
Which is kind of how they marketed it.
That was kind of lightning in a bottle You can't just recreate that anytime you want. It is one of those comedies that they can't show you any of the really fucking funny stuff in the trailer.
Because it can't go out on
They
broadcast
can't
TV.
it can't go on broadcast TV like that.
Yeah.
So if you're watching the trailer going like, I don't know, it doesn't really seem that funny. Just go. Yeah. There are lines from Dumb and Dumber, like the deep cut lines.
Yeah.
That I still love to this day. Like, we'll just come up randomly in conversation.
Samsonite.
I was way off. Or I especially like, oh, look at the butt on that. Yeah, he must work out.
Or the scene in the bathroom.
Yeah.
the X-Lax scene, which I think is just classic.
Well, that's and the movie was it was funny. I really enjoyed it. But don't think it's going to be Dumb and Dumber, the original.
Right. And it's not.
Because just nothing could ever be that like, it's worse seen.
Yeah.
And what's worse seen more than that is Birdman.
Okay.
Definitely worse seen. Now, part of the allure of Birdman is it looks like it's all one continuous shot.
Really?
Yeah. They shot it in such a way that it looks like the camera never stops.
Oh, that's fucking awesome.
Just like constantly moving and like moving from like one place to another. You remember like the walk and talks in the West Wing?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of like that. Like you'll be following characters, but only this time it'll just like go from one character to another.
Okay.
Like the walk and talk will continue. I don't know. I can't really explain it to you in any kind of like.
I like long shots though.
Yeah,
so
but it's beautiful. Like they nail it too. I was just like, oh.
And I keep asking you questions. You're like, nah, not gonna tell you. Go see it.
Go see it.
Michael Keaton needs your money. Yeah. So Birdman, good to go see that.
Birdman, go see.
Yeah.
It should win an Oscar, but it probably won't.
No.
It'll probably lose to Interstellar.
Which is something I can actually chime in.
Well, Interstellar is going to win. I guarantee you right now, if you're looking for your Oscar pool,
yeah, Interstellar.
Anything that has to do with effects,
Interstellar.
Sound design, visual effects, just anything visual, just hit Interstellar. You're good.
And the sound too, because the soundtrack or lack thereof, fuck that whole fucking thing. Never has silence been used so well in a movie.
Here is my thing about it. I loved it. I loved Interstellar. I want to see it again. Here's my number one problem with Interstellar.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a near perfect film.
Everybody's saying that. Everybody's saying near perfect.
Near perfect. The fact that it wasn't perfect and just so near was troubling. And I can pinpoint my problem.
Go ahead.
Matthew McConaughey.
Also had a problem with that, but yeah.
I really wish it was somebody other than Matthew McConaughey.
This movie made me think of you for two reasons.
Okay.
Number one, and probably the least important, our conversation about NASA.
Yeah.
And what happens when you
don't have a
start
space
cutting
program.
budgets. Yeah. And number two, I realized that you and Nolan have a lot in common.
I'm ready for this.
Okay, not visually. I mean, visually too. But my point is that when he writes things, which he wrote, he was part of the writing team for Interstellar.
Him and his brother.
Yeah.
Jonathan.
Dialogue isn't so much dialogue. Dialogue is two people having monologues that are interspersed with each other. That's how it is.
Yeah.
And I don't know that it's not a bad thing, but like, and I don't want to stop me if I get too close to a spoiler. McConaughey and another character are on a front porch, and they're talking.
Yeah.
And it's basically monologue, related but somewhat different monologue by the other guy.
Right.
Another monologue by McConaughey, and they go back and forth in these very long monologues.
Yeah.
Now, I didn't think of it until I actually heard somebody on a different podcast mention it. And I'm like, you know what? That is how it was. But it was fine. And I'm like, why was that so okay with me? Oh, that's because everything I read from Cory is basically that.
4.5 pages of monologue.
Just monologues going back and forth. But as long as it flows, you don't notice it. And it brings up that epic level of language, which is one thing I like about your rating, is that it does have that epic feel. So, in summation, I really want to talk about Interstellar, but I realized that everything I would want to talk about ruins the whole movie.
Yeah.
So maybe in like 6 weeks.
We're going to have a pre-Oscar podcast. I'm just calling it now. Just wait for it. And I'm just going to spoil whatever the fuck I want during that podcast.
Okay.
So if you haven't seen it yet.
By the Oscars, which are what, late January?
Yeah, February, something like that.
No, it's after the Super Bowl, so it's got to be February.
Yeah, February, I don't know, 7th or something like that.
Yeah, the week after Super Bowl, I think. So, anyway, so
Or a
good.
couple
So
weeks after Super Bowl.
that's when we'll talk about
Yeah.
it.
So
And it ought to be on DVD. So
fucking in the meantime, go see it. And go see Birdman. And go see Dumb and Dumber 2. And go see John Wick.
And which we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
And if you want to skip 50 Shades of Grey, you're probably going to be all right. But find Secretary on Netflix. So, anyway, as always, you're listening to the O the Anthem podcast, part of the O the Anthem digital network.
You can find O the Anthem at otheanthem.com, facebook.com/otheanthem, at O the Anthem on Twitter, YouTube, Vimeo, all that good stuff, and the listener line, 443-219-7595.
Mm-hmm. What's that number again?
You never fucking listen to me. It's 443-219-7595.
You can find me at Robert and Cheek on all your social networks except for Facebook, which is at Rob Cheek Esquire. Please check out deaddrop.com for all your it's an aggregation of all the best news stories, things that you've seen, and a lot of things that you haven't seen. Amazon.com. Look for The Movement Insurrection by me. Pre-sales are going on now until December 1st. And was that everything? Yeah. All social networks and come find me.
For now.
So for Cory.
And if you really like it, then you should tell all your friends.
And like and subscribe and many
things.
Just
the first taste is free, so just let everybody know that.
It's all free.
It's all free.
Yeah.
But
So not only is the first taste free, but we get you addicted and it stays free.
We're like that friend who gets you high all the time.
And on that note, for Cory, this is Rob. Have a great week, everybody.
Fuck NASA.
Thank you guys for tuning in. If you want to see an old short film of mine, Spiral, it's right down here. And the full video for this week's episode, right up in this area here. If you like, hit the like. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. See you guys next week.